What's happening, everybody? Shout out to all of my followers, all of my subscribers, even though I don't have many on my brand new YouTube yet. All of my friends on my friends list and everyone that follows me because they can't add me. I'm sorry. I'm working on actually going through my friends list now and unfriending inactive friends and accepting some of the friend requests from people. I swear, man, I have so many friend requests. Oh man, like they're growing exponentially and I don't have room to add all of you. So I'm actually going through my friends list right now or sometime today. Again, I do this at least twice a week to deactivate anybody who has an inactive profile or, people who post stuff that is really against what I like to promote in my network. But hey, I'm going to show you what I spent about 6 hours doing yesterday, and I'm kind of going to give you a run through of how I came to finalize the document that I've used to contact one of the local businesses. Why am I giving this away? Because I know that 99% of people who see it or who have access to this material won't go through what it takes to actually build out a document like this to research an existing business. Some people might not have that go-getter mentality to go and contact cold call these local businesses because they're probably getting called every day. They're probably being emailed every day. But one thing that I like to always recommend is to always, wherever possible, provide value to your prospects before you try to sell anything. I always, and even if your intent is not to sell, even if you don't have the intent to sell something, still do whatever you can to provide value. Because you know what? As much as people hate on people like Ty Lopez or Gary Vaynerchuk, man, value is the one element of your personality that makes your relationships last longer and grow. Obviously, the more valuable you are to someone else, the more valuable you'll be in society. So, a lot of people used to look at value as like, monetary worth. Like, this person has $1 million in the bank account, so he's valuable, right? Well, the more value you give to other people, obviously the more value you'll become. So if you're a billionaire and you're not contributing to society at all, whether it be spiritually, mentally, financially, whatever it is, if you're not contributing to the community at all, regardless of how much you're worth, you're going to be invaluable. You're not going to be valuable at all, right? Not to anybody. So even if you have $10 in your bank account, but you're out here contributing to society every day, doing something positive, trying to make a difference, trust me, you're going to be a very, very valuable person. And over time, if you stay consistent, everything is a numbers game. If you stay consistent, the money will follow, so long as your goal is not to get money. Your goal should be to give value. And then somebody along the lines is going to be like, I want to pay you for that. Someone somewhere is going to say, hey, how much do you charge for that? You're going to be like, what? Huh? Charge? Gary Vaynerchuk said it best. So one day, one of the guys called Gary Vaynerchuk and was like, hey, we want you to come and speak at an event. What do you usually charge? And Gary's like, thinking to himself, I usually do this for free, but this guy's asking me how much do I charge? I'm a businessman by heart, so his first thought was going to be to, see what he can get out of this as like a business deal. So he goes $5,000. And then the guy proceeds to talk and say, hey, okay, we're going to get the paperwork ready. And then Gary's thinking to himself, oh, wow, that was easy. Like $5,000. Cool. We're getting the paperwork ready. We're going to set everything up for you. We'll have the money sent to you, so and so, blah, blah, blah. We'll schedule everything. Your flight will be paid for. Your stay will be paid for. $5,000, no problem. And Gary's thinking to himself, wow, how can I get, how can I make a better deal out of this? Like, what is my true value in this situation? He doesn't even know his own value because he's so busy giving away information for free that he didn't realize somebody was willing to pay big bucks for that same free information. Think about this. They're having him come to speak at an event and willing to pay him whatever he wants. But he's going to talk about the same shit that's available on his YouTube channel, right? So all those people at the event have free access to his YouTube. But the value that he gives for free, someone is willing to pay for it. So Gary thinks to himself, okay, let me repeat this back to this guy. So you're saying, you're saying I can come out here. You want me to come out and speak for 30 minutes, for $5,000. Cool. That's awesome. And then the guy goes, no. I wanted an hour. We wanted an hour. And Gary thinks to himself, oh, an hour. Okay. $10,000. I'm sorry. And then the guy's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. And Gary's like, oh my God, what the heck? Like, dang, $10,000, that easy. Like, what could I have really gotten out of this deal? But obviously it wasn't about the money at the end of the day. It was just a big eye opener for Gary to realize that the value he had been giving out for free eventually was going to be compensated towards him in a big way. So even though it might have taken 10 conferences that he had done for free, 300 YouTube videos, somebody down the line was willing to pay him $10,000 to $20,000 for 1 hour. So really they were paying him for 6 years of work that he might have been doing, or 32 months of free conferences he might have been doing. It might have taken him 32 months to give that value and then get that opportunity to make $10,000 in 1 hour. All right. So, basically my point is, don't go around trying to get, because the more you look for money, the harder it is to find. Think about this. If someone covers your mouth and nose, right, to the point where you can't breathe, what is the only thing you're going to think about? I need air. I need air. I need air. God, I need air. That's the only thing you're going to think about because your mouth and your nose is covered, right? So what is the only thing you think about when you're broke? I need money. I need money. I need money. So we because we're lacking that financial stability, that's the only thing we think about. So when we go into, networking events, we're trying to sell people. We're trying to sell people. And we stop trying to serve people with value. Okay. So, just because you may not be where you want to be financially, money is not air. You don't need it. Okay. Remove your attachment whatsoever to money and attach yourself to satisfaction from the people who find value in your products or services. Now, the people who don't see value in your products or services, we don't care about them at all. We don't care what they think about our products or services. If they have something negative to say about our products or services, they're really saying negative things about themselves. We don't care. We don't give it any attention. We don't give it the time of day. We don't even reply to it because we don't need their opinion. We don't need their money. So think about that. Next time you're broke, when somebody's got your mouth and nose covered and you can't breathe, the only thing you're thinking about is air. So when you're suffering financially, the only thing you think about is money, and that kind of limits you from being able to solve the problem. Okay, so in taking this journey to contact local businesses or to evaluate local businesses, to, remember that your goal in contacting these local businesses is to give them value, whether or not they do business with you. So one status I just updated was don't lower your prices. Okay. Don't lower your, let me see what I said. I don't even remember what I said. Don't lower your prices. Don't lower your standards. But do lower your expectations. When you go to try to present something to a business and hopefully to earn their business, keyword earn, you don't want to go in there with the expectation that they're going to say yes. You don't want to go in there with the expectation that they're going to say no. You don't want to go in there with the expectation that they're going to give a shit about you or they're not. You don't want to go in there with the expectation that they want your services or need your services. No expectations. You just want to go in there or email them or call them or whatever. However you approach them, your goal should be to give value. Okay? If you go in there with expectations and you go in there as if someone has their hand on your mouth and nose and you can't breathe, so you're desperate for air. Okay, if you go in there with that kind of attitude, like you're broke, so you're desperate for money, you're going to appear as needy. It's going to seem like you really need their business, which means, you know, maybe the service you're offering to them doesn't work, because if it did, you would have the business already from other clients, so you wouldn't be in a needy position. You're going to come off as someone who is desperate, and nobody wants to. No level-headed businessman makes a decision out of desperacy. Okay? No level-headed businessman or woman is going to make an emotional decision to work with you because they feel bad for you. They had to go through some of the same things that you're going through by starting a business, by cold calling, by going door to door saying, hey, you know, I'm new to this. So you want to go in there with zero expectations. You want to be totally open and honest. You want to have an open ear for what they need. But if you follow this video, you'll have an idea of what they need before they even open their mouths. Because, you know, believe it or not, social media is the future. The internet is the future. Every business is going to need to transition to that sooner than later. And if they haven't already, they're leaving money on the table. So I want to talk to you first about one objection, or really it's a complaint that can be overcome. So, you know, this objection that a lot of business owners have is that social media, we don't need it, or social media didn't work for me, I tried it, or we tried it. Okay, the truth is they do need it, because if they tried it, that shows you that, you know, they were looking for an alternative to expand their business. They wouldn't have tried it in the first place. You know, so obviously you want to keep an open mind. You want to be able to overcome objections. So that's something that you want to do research on and study before you actually go contacting businesses, because they will have them. One of the most common objections that I do get from business owners is, I have a Facebook profile. We have someone doing that. We've hired someone to do that already. Or I have someone doing that, or I tried it and it didn't work. How you overcome that is you say, okay, well, one is just a couple of ways. One, did you have any prior marketing experience? Are you certified to do social media marketing? Are you an expert in social media marketing? Their answer 9 times out of 10 will be no. Just because they tried something and had a bad experience doesn't mean that it's not a good platform for their business. If it's a local business that has ratings on Google, on Yelp, on Facebook, go to those 3 places and find the worst possible rating you can find for that business. Show it to them. So you tried social media and it didn't work, right? You had a bad experience. Look at this rating for your business. You got 1 star because this person had a bad experience. Does that mean that your restaurant doesn't work? Does that mean that your food isn't good? Does that mean you don't have quality people providing customer service? Like good customer service? No, that one person who had a bad experience in your business doesn't define your business. That defines their mentality. That defines that particular situation. Okay, they probably weren't an expert. They probably didn't do their research before they came to your business. So they let themselves into that bad experience by not preparing. Okay, they had a lack of understanding of how well your customer service actually is and how good your food actually is. They have a biased opinion based on one experience. So your bad social media experience doesn't define what social media actually can do. Okay, it's a couple of ways you can overcome objections. You just have to prepare and think about it. So let me go ahead and jump right into one of the local businesses that I contacted recently. And I've been contacting a lot of businesses. I'm actually making a transition from working with like independent artists and startups, which I still do. I still want to do that, to going with more with corporations and local companies that actually have an established local business, a brick and mortar. The company that I went to is on Facebook. Okay, so again, remember, look in the description of this video if you want to get access to the files that I've created, the documents that I actually typed up. Comment on the status on my timeline where I, asked that question. Comment directly on that status, not this video. Don't send me a direct message. And after you comment on that status, I'll send you a Dropbox link to all of the files for free. Yes. Amodio Chiropractic Clinic. I've actually gone to a lot of local businesses, but I found this one to be really attractive to me because it has a lot of potential. That's what I want. Someone that has a lot of potential. Okay, and I'm gonna find information about their digital marketing practices to be able to point out key ways that they can improve so that I can give value to him based on what he's already or they are already doing on social media. Now, if they didn't need social media, they wouldn't have it. If they didn't need sales to their website or traffic to their website, they wouldn't have one. Okay? If they didn't need a social media marketer, they wouldn't have multiple social profiles. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay, so if you go and look at their social media presence and compare it to someone who's actually doing a really good job, that's another way you can approach this. And you can basically create a document, take some screenshots, take some notes, write down a couple of things that you can present to the prospect and say, hey, here is your competitor also in this city. This is what they're doing compared to what you are. But I can do this for you. Social media is an incredible business. And there's an incredible opportunity here because a lot of businesses have not truly tapped into what Facebook alone is capable of. Amodio Chiropractic Clinic, let's click on their page. They have 59 likes. Chances are when they created this page, whoever created it, they brought their likes from their Facebook profile over to this page. So let's say he had 59 friends and those 59 friends became likes of this page. None of those people, maybe one, will be qualified to actually ever become his client. Right? And maybe there are a couple of people that he knows, his family who come to and from or whatever. Most of those people aren't directly qualified to be his client. Okay, so that's something right off the bat. Let's see if we can find out how to look at this. So if you click on 59 likes, check this out. You see this triangle right here? This triangle means that when they created this page, that peak is where all of his 59 friends came at once, or 59 likes. Because this is a triangle, that means those likes came directly from a Facebook profile. None of these people like this page. Maybe one person, and that was like over here this week, one new page like, and it wasn't me. But this triangle, this pyramid, shows you that all of his likes came on one day, which means he ported friends over from his Facebook profile to his page. Nobody actually liked his page. So technically he has 0 likes, or in this case, one person who took it upon themselves to like this page. Okay, look for that triangle. 2004, 2005 is when they created the page, and all of his likes spiked because he pulled the likes over, the friends over from his profile. 2006, 0 likes. 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Let's go back over to the home page. All right, so he's got all of his information here. That's great. He's got his website here. That's awesome. We're going to check that out in a second. But let's go down even more. He's got testimonials. That's incredible. You want to make sure that you compliment them on what they're doing right. Testimonial. Yes. Good video testimonials. That's 2 pluses. It's one thing to have testimonials. It's another thing to have videos, because videos are also the future. He's got business pictures. Great. But he doesn't have any pictures of the clients. That's the one thing you want to take note of. Not necessarily saying that every business should take pictures of their clients, but it's good to see, kind of what the process is like, and kind of get a behind the scenes idea of what you're going to experience before you go to this business. So that's something that he might want to consider. On this page, January 26th, the last post. The second to last is January 25th. And this shows that it's coming directly from Twitter. The third to last is January 5th. So it shows that he's posting about 3 times a month. Another thing you want to take note of. 3 times a month is pretty good for most businesses who are managing their own social media. One thing that you also want to take note is the number of people who engaged on these posts. 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares. 0 likes, 1 comment, 1 share. But this comment is from someone who obviously knows him, because again, he pulled the likes, the friends over from his Facebook profile. And this is one of those people who knows him personally. So she's not necessarily looking for services. She's saying, is that you? Worked for your dad when you were just a little boy. Would love to have a copy of the book. Please tell your mom and hello for me. Not a client. Probably not going to become one. Okay, so again, someone he pulled over from his profile as a friend does not necessarily mean that they are qualified to be your client, which means their like on your page is a waste of a like. It's useless. Not to say that this person is useless, but you don't want, 10-year-old Jimmy liking your car dealership page, because, that's kind of going to go against the leverage you can exercise on marketing advertising. So if you have 500 likes and 400 of them are 10-year-olds or 14-year-olds, but you run a car dealership, technically you have your likes are, your page is kind of in a negative, because 100 out of those 500 people may actually be qualified. So when you post something to Facebook, who's to say that Facebook is going to show your post to only those 100 people who are qualified? Chances are it'll show that post to the people who are more active, who are those 14-year-olds. So if you get 300 views on your video and they're all those 14-year-olds because they're active on Facebook every day, you're like, oh wow, I got 300 views. No, you got 0 views, because not a single one of those people who were qualified to view that video actually saw it. He's got a photo he posted on Twitter. So that's something you can take note of. He has low quality photos. He has no one actually doing any branding, any visual design. No design assets or no branded elements have been uploaded to his page. We don't see a logo. Okay. And we're going to talk about that in a second as well. But again, no likes, no comments, no shares. No likes, no comments, no shares. 1 like, no comments, no shares. 1 like, no comments, no shares. That like is probably that same person that left that comment up there, who is also not qualified to be his client. So technically, this is probably 0 likes, because chances are this is someone who was on his friends list. Remember? 1 like, 0 comments, 0 shares. So whoever is liking these posts is probably just trying to do him a favor. Like, oh, there's Steve. There's old Uncle Steve. Cousin Steve. Let me go and like this. And this is, again, a photo of a brochure. Someone could have designed this to be a landing page, or designed this to be a visually pleasing, branding. It could be aesthetically pleasing. Okay. To be more eye-catching. This is a boring image. Nobody wants to see a picture of text, right? We take a picture to kind of keep you from having to read text. So if I need to open a post to see a picture to read more text, kind of doesn't make sense. Your engagement is going to be incredibly low. But the fact that he's actively posting on his Facebook page means that he's trying to get more business. He or whoever's managing this would not take the time out of their day, even though it takes a couple minutes to post something. They wouldn't even consider taking the time out of their day to post on Facebook and Twitter. So this goes to show this person probably needs a little bit of help. It isn't to say that they're just horrible at what they're doing. They're just ignorant, as in they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So just keep in mind, there's a difference between stupid and ignorant. He'd be stupid if I told him what he should do and he continued to do the same thing. But most people, believe it or not, are completely ignorant to how social media and the internet works, how to track analytics information, how to do targeting, or how to properly make a post that is attractive for engagement, how to write copy, how to write a header. Okay, how to title a post. So he knows how to link his Facebook to Twitter. That means he's at least computer literate enough to understand that, linking these social profiles together is going to help me kind of spread my audience, or combine my audience on both platforms, which he kind of doesn't have one right now. But again, 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares. Let's go over the photos really quick. We have our header photo. We've got 5 cover photos that he's updated over time, and that's good. He's got some photos of the business. I'd rate these photos a 1 out of 10, except for this one. I might give this one maybe a 2.5 out of 10 because of it's visually pleasing. The quality is far better than the other photos he's uploaded. Let's click on videos. Videos are very important, but I always recommend, if you do have videos, upload them and embed them through YouTube. So I would give him a 3.5 out of 10 for having videos, but I'm going to subtract a couple of points because he's uploading the photos or the videos, 1 to his YouTube, 2 to his Facebook, 3 to his website, directly on the server of his website. So he can't really get big engagement to his videos because he's uploading them in multiple places. If one person sees it here and one person sees it on his YouTube, technically one person saw the video. But if he uploaded it to YouTube and 2 people viewed it on YouTube, technically 3 people saw the video, because when those 2 people see it, YouTube is going to see that as, okay, 2 people watched this, let's show it to someone else. Right? Starting to make a little bit of sense. So I'm going to go back home and we're going to click on his one thing that I noticed at first is that his website is not registered with a SSL certificate, which is a secure socket layer. It's like when you go to a website like Facebook, you'll see in the top address bar that it has this green lock and it says secure, or maybe the whole bar is green depending on what browser you're using. And the website registers with https:// and then the domain name. That means the website is secure. So if I were to enter personal information, address, email, phone number, credit card through Facebook, I would be confident that my information is secure because this website is registered with an SSL certificate through HTTPS. His website, none. So if I were to enter any information that I felt might, leave me in a vulnerable position, chances are if someone wanted to hack into this website, they surely could. They have a greater chance of doing so because he doesn't have that extra layer of security. So one little trick that you can do, obviously you want to pull this up on your phone as well to see what it looks like. And, maybe I'll do that later. But another thing you can do to see how actually responsive the website is for mobile devices is drag the window down. So if it automatically readjusts and moves all the contents, the elements on the page to be visually pleasing for this small window, then their website is mobile responsive. In this case, this website isn't, because if I can scroll horizontally, that means we don't have a responsive website design. Now they do have a mobile version, which I'll show you later, but the mobile version is completely different. It lacks important information. It lacks character. It's completely dull. The only plus side to having only contact information in the mobile version is that it has a good loading speed. Most people are very, very impatient, and you directly have access to the contact information. But a lot of people are just kind of browsing to window shop when they look at websites, especially on their phone. So because you don't have visually pleasing website and it's not interesting, you don't have any culture or any content that shows you like, hey, people are coming here and this is what we're doing, we're enjoying running our business. Well, people are going to see that and they're going to kind of be turned off about it subconsciously. So you want to kind of take note that you don't have any culture on your website. I don't have an idea of what the mood is when I come into your office. Okay. At the very top, we see that we have this logo here, Amodio Chiropractic Clinic. I'm a graphic designer. I can go and design a logo in 3 minutes. You can go to places like Fiverr.com or Upwork.com if you're not a logo designer. And this is something I recommend you do if you really feel like you have the potential to land a client. I always recommend you invest even if you don't think you have the potential to land a client. Just do it anyway. Because if you spend $5 on getting a custom logo made at Fiverr and it looks 100 times better than this one, you just spent $5 and you basically gifted this company a $5 logo. But they might think, you don't have to tell them it was $5. They might think, oh man, this guy's proactive. We've got a much better logo. That's the value is in their eyes. Wow, someone did this for us. Big companies spend $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 on a logo alone. So for them, you can say, hey, this is a $500 value. I personally design logos at $500 minimum. Okay, so you can go to Fiverr. You can go to Upwork and hire someone to design a logo. You can say in Upwork, you can say, I need someone to design a logo, a custom logo for Amodio Chiropractic Clinic. Here's some ideas of what I have in mind, or I don't have ideas in mind. I want you to use your best judgment. You're the designer. My budget is $5 and it needs to be custom. Okay, and people can bet and bid on your job listing, basically on your project. And they'll say, hey, I'll design your logo for $4. Hey, I'll design 5 different logos for you for $5 so you can have one to choose from. So people are going to bid in different ways. Okay, so this is only if you're not a logo designer. But if you see the company has a bad logo, take care of that for them. Be proactive. Businesses want to see someone that's proactive, who cares enough to solve a problem before they present the problem to the person who doesn't like problems. So if you go and tell him, hey man, I saw your logo is ugly, but I didn't do anything about it. Well, why would he want to hire you if you aren't a proactive person? He should feel like, man, if I ever have a problem with my website, this guy is probably just going to take care of it for me. Okay, right? So that's the first thing I noticed. Let's go to Google. And I'm going to type in chiropractor logo. We're going to go over to images, and we're going to count how many times we find this logo or something similar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're only counting the ones that look exactly like his, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you want to take a note of this as well if this is applicable to you. 16, 17, 18. Okay, and I can keep going. And that's exactly what I did. I took a note of that, and I took a note of the URL for where that information was. So let me show you the logo that I designed. And I'm actually going to open up the project in Adobe Fireworks. Again, if you're not a logo designer, you don't have to do this. All right, so this is a completely custom logo. You will not find this on Google. I took the D and turned it around backwards to kind of give you that subconscious smiling face. And I actually drew with the pen tool with this right here, the A. And then I hand drew basically a spine to be attached to the A. So this is a chiropractor office. A lot of people have back pains and whatever. So this was the logo that I created. The alternative version of the logo is just the A. Now these will look way cooler on his website, way more modern, way more clean. All right, so one thing that he can't do with this logo on his website is print it on t-shirts, print it on business cards and flyers. Of course he can, but it's going to be really low quality because this is obviously a flattened like bitmap. There's no way to manipulate this image. So whoever created this logo ripped one of these images off of Google. There's another one. They ripped the image off of Google. Actually, let me show you exactly what they did. See how small that is? They adjusted it to make it bigger. They took a magic wand, and I'm going to make the background transparent so you can see. Actually, I'll make it orange for now. They took the magic wand, selected the white space, and there's their logo. And all they did was changed health to Emodio. It's probably how they came up with the name too, with chiropractic. But there's their current logo. So let me show you an example of what happens when you take a bitmap image and try to add it to, you know, a business card, or you save the file and you go and, you know, send the file to someone through Facebook or through email. It gets compressed. And when an image gets compressed, let's say I'm going to change the size of the image dimensions really small. It's pixelated. And now I'm going to adjust it back to its original size. You see what happened? Now, if I want to make this as big as possible for, let's say, a big flyer, a big banner for a big event, and let's zoom into 100%. This is what it's going to look like. Like, what the heck is that? So that's what happens when you take a bitmap image and turn it into a logo. Now let's look at our logo. This is why you want to hire a professional or someone who has the skill to design a logo through Fiverr.com. $5 will go a long way. Make sure that they design it in a vector format. Ask them if they can to also have it to where they've exported the file in 4 or 5 different file types, so that you can you or your client can open the logo in Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Fireworks, or whatever program they feel is best, and a transparent version with no background, so that they can upload the logo to a business card designer on, you know, moo.com is the best place to go for really good quality business cards. But, you know, those other places, Vistaprint, when you want to upload your logo, it's got to have a transparent background, so you can add a background to the image or whatever you want to do. But this is a vector. You see these little blue lines? I can take these blue lines and manipulate them however I wish. Okay, that's how a vector works. Now let's transform this. See how small that is, but it's still a vector. Now this is at 100%. Let's go back and make this really big. Now this is going to be huge. And let me zoom in to 100%. Now you see how the edges are really crisp still. There's no distortion. It's still a vector. Doesn't have to be pixel perfect. But can we agree that that's way better than what's currently on the website? Moving on. I took note of this, and we're going to save that in maybe a text document, and we're going to go back and use this URL later in the business evaluation. On their homepage, they've got one image that's directly related to their business. Good job. That's a plus. This text is actually embedded onto the image itself. That's kind of a minus, because we can use this text to rank with Google, with SEO. So all the text, wherever possible, needs to actually be text. So if I copy this image, I'm actually going to open Adobe Fireworks again so I can pull this image in there. But this is kind of stuff you want to look for. You want to be able to see that they've created this website efficiently to where Google can actually track all of the text that's on the website. Because search engine optimization is equally important. So this is a image. There's no text actually on top of that banner. Okay. He's got email. You know, he can capture email, so that's a plus. So let me go ahead and kind of go through this a little bit faster now that we've kind of got the basics out of the way for evaluating the website. He's got a header here with Chirurville, which is a keyword in the header, and chiropractic, which is in the header. There are all kinds of other keywords that he wants to rank for, like back pain, neck pain, knee pain. If I go over to the blog post, he has no blog posts. So let's let this load for a second. No one's publishing content to drive traffic to the website. This is a big ranking factor as well. His contacts look great because he has contact at the bottom of the page. He has no video on the home page. Okay. Doesn't have any community or culture of his, business, of his employees, no team members. Those are all kinds of things that could definitely be a big plus for getting more customers into his location. Okay, services are listed on the second page. So I need to click, I consider clicking to scroll as one click, and then clicking actually to enter a second page as click number 2. Whereas most people will evaluate clicking into a page from homepage as click number 1. Well, if you have to scroll down and then click to go to the services, I consider that as 2 clicks away. Services should actually be 1 click away or less. And when I say or less, you should be able to literally scroll right below the slider to see services if they're not already listed here. So, those are things that you want to look for. Another thing that I've added in Google Chrome, which I believe is also a Firefox extension, is this plugin called the Facebook Pixel Helper. When this plugin actually illuminates or shows a little icon with a number, that means that Facebook or this website, whoever is managing this website, has installed the Facebook Pixel to this website, which actually tracks demographics of people like me who visit the website. I'm on here. So because I'm on their website, if they log into their Facebook page should have tracked me and captured me into their audience that they can use to retarget later for ads. This particular company, I was told they are running advertisements on TV and radio, but a person has to see or hear an ad 7 to 9 times before they actually decide to take action. How many times would you have to run one ad on the same TV station or on the same radio station for one person to hear it 7 to 9 times? A lot. But everybody's on Facebook, right? So why isn't he advertising on Facebook instead, where he can target people directly and immediately? If I visit this site, I should be able to go to Facebook and go over to my home page and see an advertisement from him. But I don't. So if I scroll down, let's see, it's one of my pages. I want to see if I can find a sponsored post. So whatever the first sponsored post is. All right. So, 9-5, I've seen ads from them at least 50 times since I've watched their YouTube video and visited their website. And I still have yet to buy a pair of sunglasses, but I love their sunglasses. Okay. So, that's an example of how bad, how much money they're wasting. So they could basically put their money into a paper shredder and probably get more clients. The About Us, all of this is on separate pages. So I have to click 1, 2, 3, 4 different pages to be able to find staff, information about the doctor. This can be strategically embedded in excerpts on the first page. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and open up the Word document so that I can show you exactly how I put together the evaluation visually. Now, every approach needs to be different. You need to kind of tailor your approach to the client. You don't want to copy my text document word for word. You don't want to copy my business valuation part for part. You want to kind of put your own flavor into it and, kind of market yourself in a way that you would present yourself to a new friend. Okay. You want to be as authentic as possible, which, will put you in more of a vulnerable position. and you might lose clients because of it. But you don't want to have to go out of your way to be inauthentic to land clients, which means, you're basically pretending to be someone just to get business. It's going to get overwhelming. So be as authentic as possible and create this, customize this for yourself. What I've done is I've created a folder on my desktop for now with the name of the business. In this folder, I've got a folder titled business card, where I've actually gone and created a fireworks and Photoshop version of the business card, and then a flattened PNG, which the flattened PNG is the only one that I send to them. I don't send them the Photoshop or the fireworks version that they can go and edit, because those business cards sometimes might take up more space, which might mean it'll be harder to send the email or for them to download it. So I only leave the PNG in here. Yes, I create a custom business card that they can use to upload to a printing service to get business cards made for free, which is something that I also charge $100 for as a normal service. New logo. You see that I created a new logo. I actually send them every file that I export for their new logo. So there's a backup file, which is the first document I use to create the logo. It has some different layers in there that are hidden that I can go back and manipulate if I ever want to make changes to this logo. They're not totally satisfied, or I want to make changes to, whatever. I use this backup. I save the backup in its own folder. When I export what I believe to be final versions of the photo, I have a widescreen version and I have a square version in case they want to upload one to their Facebook profile image. But I go beyond that and actually export both logo designs here with transparent backgrounds as PNGs, which they can use to upload to printing software. I export the Adobe Illustrator version of the files, the Adobe Photoshop versions of the files, because if they have someone on staff that has Adobe, they can open those files and add them to documents that they print out in their office, to brochures, etc. And then I create a Facebook banner. Let's preview this. All right, really good, really high quality. You can kind of create this however you want to, do some research, or go to Canva, canva.com. You can create some free images, so long as you're using your own background images. So you can go to Google, find images, stock images that are free, and upload them into Canva, so you don't have to pay to save the image that you're editing. If you use Canva's stock images, you have to pay to download it. So I created a Facebook profile picture that is similar branding with the background image for the Facebook page. And it's in really high quality too, so I like to make my images pretty big. This is actually full size, so they could use this on all kinds of things. And then I've got a Twitter banner. It's branded a little bit different with their alternative logo. And again, yeah, that's the full size there. And then I've got a Twitter profile picture. You don't have to take all of these steps. You can use Canva to do this quickly once you get a logo designed from Fiverr or Upwork. And then you can use Canva to upload your images and create the Facebook profile picture, the Twitter header, and the Facebook header. Canva has those dimensions set in the software for you. There's a mobile app. I recommend you use the desktop version, the website canva.com, to create these though. And I send all of those to them as well, but I put these structured, organized in folders. I created a folder titled Old Logo, and it has, of course, their logo. We're going to preview this. Believe it or not, this is going to be the full size of the logo. Let's just see if we can zoom in. And that's the quality of their logo. All right, so I put their logo in this folder as well. And then in a folder for, it's going to be a case by case. If this doesn't apply to you, you can skip this part. But I put a folder in there of photos from Google search where other logos, and in some cases other businesses, will have the exact same or very similar logo. So some businesses you go to who are local, like chiropractors, doctors, they won't have a logo at all. So you can just go and create a logo. Here's another company that's using the exact same logo, and it's in the same field. I put resources in here. I use this resource. I downloaded this photo from Google because I'll show you what this is for in a second. But this Facebook Boost post button is just a resource that I use for myself to actually create the Word document. And I'm going to open that up now. I export my Word document in DOCX for like the newer versions of Word. I export it in the older version of Word as .doc, and I export it also as a PDF. The PDF is the one that you want to send unzipped as an attachment alone in your email, because they can directly just open the PDF if they're on their phone, and they won't be able to download the zipped file, but you're going to have the logos and all those other folders in a zipped file for them to download on their desktop. And if they don't have a logo, they're going to be like, wow, you know, we don't have a logo. We need this. We're online, so we kind of care about our online presence. Let me go to my desktop and download this zipped file and give this to my receptionist or whoever does, you know, managing those things. So, of course, on the first page, I write copy. I'm going to read that out to you in a second. And in the footer, if I double click on the footer, I've imported my logo for my business. Let me go back and double click on the body. So my logo is on the footer of every page. And I've gone over to, let's see, I think it's page layout and margins, and I've decreased my margins down to 0.5 on every side to give me more room to write and to actually create this. So the first thing that I actually did before I wrote the copy, let me zoom in here a little bit, is I created of course a title, Your Digital Marketing. I made this look really good, and what I did was I put all the content into tables. Let me show you how to do that really quick. I'm going to open up a new document. So I open up a blank document. I go over to page layout. I go over to margins, and I do 0.5 settings. You can set it to custom. You can go down to the custom if you don't have 0.5 as an option, or you can click on this pop out for page setup, and then you can adjust the margins here. So this little icon in the pop out. The first thing I do is your digital marketing, basically what they are doing. Then I hit enter. Of course you can change the text size. I leave it at 8 points minimum. Usually the minimum is 16, but I want to have more content in here that's valuable to them. The next thing I do is go over to insert table, and depending on what information you want to insert into the table, you can create basically the number of columns you need. The rows don't matter because you can add rows as you go. So let's say I add 2 rows and I wanted a 3rd row. I just go over into the last cell and I hit tab. It's going to create a new column for me. Last cell, tab. Okay, so you can pretty much build this how you want to. I can go in here and take, maybe this entire row of cells, and I can merge them together. If I want to go over to, let's see, actually I think it's home, but if I right click those cells, I should be able to merge cells, and then I can put whatever text up here I want. You can design this however you want. Just go to YouTube and look up how to do whatever you're looking for. Whatever you're looking for, it's on YouTube if you need help figuring out how to create tables and do all that extra pretty stuff. Okay, so for example, I went over to list their social profiles, their profile URLs, their followers, their posts, engagement on the post, so average engagement. We added ad spend and targeting, which that's something that I can't necessarily track unless I see a sponsored post from them after I visit their website, which I didn't. So instead of saying that there is no ad spend, I just add not applicable or not available. And then reviews. This is local business, so we wanted to see what reviews they have. So let's go over to Google My Business as an example. what I'm going to do is go on google.com and I'm going to type in chiropractor. Because I'm in Caryville, this should pick up my current location. And as we see, Caryville Chiropractic Clinic, Emodio is number 3 ranking for the keyword chiropractor. That's another thing that we want to write down in this document. I'll show you that. So I'm going to actually search Emodio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Chiropractic Clinic, and we should have their business card actually come up on the right hand column. So this card, Emodio Chiropractic Clinic, shows that they have a website, directions, chiropractor in Caryville, Tennessee. This could be improved a little bit, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We've got an address, a phone number, and we're missing business hours. So that's something you want to take note of. I recommend not going and suggesting. In some cases, you have the option to actually suggest edits to where you click on suggest and edit and you can go and add that information. I'm just going to leave it incomplete so that we can show them, hey, this information is incomplete. 0 reviews. This is a big thing, okay? On their website, we saw that they had social profiles. So you can go to Yelp, to their Facebook pages, and see what reviews they have there as well. As far as Google, we have none. So let's go back to their website and click out to a couple of their social profiles: Facebook, YouTube, and Yelp. On their Facebook page, there's generally a way to add a review, but they have no reviews here. They have one person who's commented on the page, and you could technically list that as a review, but it wouldn't count. It wouldn't be beneficial to their ranking. So technically, they don't have any reviews. If we go to their YouTube channel, they've got 14 videos, and they have average about 2 views per video. So this one 11, this one 25, this one 5, but 2, none, 2, 1, none, none, 2, 1, 1, 1. Averaging about 2. Okay, let's see how many subscribers they have. 0. On their Yelp, they don't have any business photos. They have actually, check this out. So in this document, I actually gave them a negative score on this, because the first review that shows up is for the first 2 reviews are for actually for their competitors: Natural, Potential Chiropractic, The Joint Chiropractic. Those are sponsored, but those are positive reviews from other companies that show up on their Yelp listing. And then guess what? If I scroll down a bit, it says 2 reviews that are not currently recommended. Let's click on that. They actually do have 2 reviews. One of them is a 4 or a 5 star, another one is a 5 star, but these people only created a Yelp to review this business, and they're probably people that know them personally, which is why Yelp gave these reviews kind of why Yelp hid these reviews. So we use automated software to recommend the reviews we think will be the most helpful to the Yelp community based on primarily on quality, reliability, and the reviewers' activity on Yelp. These reviewers only signed up that one day to create that one review. The reviews below didn't make the cut and are therefore not factored into this business's overall star rating. Boom. Negative rating, because the first 2 reviews that show up are sponsored ads from other people who are paying $300 to $700 a month for Yelp. Okay, everybody's on the internet. This is huge. They're leaving a lot of money on the table, and we see that they've claimed their Yelp listing. So they cared enough to go in here and claim a Yelp listing, which means they need it, but 0 reviews. Let's look over at our Word document. Facebook, they have 2 profiles because he kind of runs 2 different businesses. I'm not really going to get into depth on those pages, but like I said, 59 followers, none of them are real. So what I would really do here is add 0 in parentheses. And I like to go home and change the highlight color of these based on what I think they rank. So I'll show you the ranking system I've set up in a second. And again, go and comment on this status if you want this document. You can go in there and change everything for yourself. So Facebook profile 1, 0 followers, because these 59 were actually converted over from his profile of friends. He's posting 1 to 3 times a month, which is a plus. 0 people on average are engaging. We have no way to track whether they're spending ads or targeting, and 0 reviews. He basically has 1 comment on his Facebook page that was kind of a review, but it doesn't count. On his second Facebook page, 378 likes. We gave him a 0 rating because, again, those 378 actually come from his unable to open, cannot locate. So let me right click this and edit the hyperlink. All right, so if they had this pulled up as a PDF, they'd be able to just click out and go to that profile. This is the second page, Carsville Health Center. He's got 379 people who like the page. 0 people have been. He's actively posting. Okay, see, there we go again. He's posting, got videos plus, but they're uploaded directly to the page and they're not pulled over from his YouTube channel. He's posting at least 3 times a month, again linked to Twitter. Okay, so this is April 19th, 2016, and let's click on those likes. What will we see? A triangle. 1 new like this week, and 379 total page likes, all the way down from 2004. We go to 2007. It looks like in 2008 is when all these likes, where these likes come from. 2009. So because we have these pyramids, this just kind of shows us that these people are actually just pulled over from his friends list. In the document, of course, I have all of these profile URLs linked out to the respective page for like their Twitter, for example, which you can right click once you highlight that text. You can go down to insert hyperlink. In my case, it's edit hyperlink, and you can add the address to that particular page. I'm going to pull that up on here as well. And I actually followed him on Twitter. I'd have to be kind of nice and follow him on Twitter, but he's got 10 followers. He's posting at least 3 times a month again. And he's got 1 picture here or 2 pictures here. So it means some part of him cares enough to post on Twitter because he sees potential in it. All right, so this is a huge potential client. They've got that, poorly designed the logo, probably super outdated. And this gives him the opportunity to go and upload my assets if he wants to update his logo. 400 tweets, following 8 people, 10 people following him, including myself. So we can take note of all of that. All right, so posts, followers, 9 on Twitter before I followed, 1 on Google+, 0 on YouTube, not applicable for Yelp, Google My Business. Other websites that I found his name on, I Googled his name and found his listing on other websites where he has 0 reviews. One website has 2, and I gave him a -9 on Google My Business because, even though he has, actually, no, that's Yelp. Gave him a -9 on Yelp, 0 on Google My Business. His websites are listed here. Is he blogging on the website? Post frequency, how often is he blogging? Does he have his social profiles linked from his website? Yes, no to this one. Does he have the Facebook pixel installed? Does he have email capture? All right, so I highlight the things that he's doing good, the things that he definitely needs to improve, and the things that are not totally necessary right now. which is something that we might want to, a service we might want to provide over time once we fix these red areas. His ranking on Google is pretty good for chiropractor, for the term weight loss, and for these other terms, he doesn't show up on page 1. Google Maps, he's ranking number 1 when you search chiropractor and chiropractor, but he's not ranking for the services he provides, which are back pain, neck pain, neurotherapy, auto injuries, weight loss. 0 photos uploaded and business hours missing from his Google My Business. Contact information, he doesn't have an official email attached to his website, which would be like steve@amodiochiropracticclinic.net. His domain, he has 1 keyword in the domain name, which is chiropractic. He has no SSL certificate, no blogs published. The website is not mobile responsive. Majority of people are online users are mobile. He's using free clip art for his logo. The logo wasn't vectorized, it wasn't digital or print ready, nor is the design tailored to the brand. We found 27 matches in Google Images, and we added a link in that text so they can click out and view those images or that page. No images on his home page had the alt tags, had keywords in the alt tags. That's a ranking factor. He had a random image in there that had nothing to do with his business. No videos were embedded from his YouTube channel. No videos were instantly streamable, as in when you click the videos. I'll actually show you that right now. They download. Nobody wants to download your videos onto their. This isn't 1989. You know, we're not on Windows XP trying to download videos to watch because our internet connection is slow. So let's go over to videos. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Basically, you want to put together what your legitimate experience is thoroughly when you use this website as if you were a client. Here's that random image that has nothing to do with his business. And if I go to watch one of his videos, it prompts to download. I'm like, no, I don't want to download that. Cancel. All right, so no videos on the home page. Definitely good for culture. No Facebook pixel installed for tracking and targeting, retargeting. Evaluation of the homepage, 1 out of 5. Rank, or this is my rating. I give him 1 out of 5 for keywords. If we look at his homepage, and I'm about to wrap this up, but I just wanted to kind of give you a thorough idea of what I do and how you can do this. It takes you maybe a few hours once you kind of get in the swing of it, and it could potentially land you $2,000 to $5,000 a month deals with some of these big businesses. So let's do a keyword search. I'm going to hit Control F on my keyboard and search the term chiropractic. We've got this word on this homepage 14 times. That's a little excessive. Chiropractic, 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 chiropractic 3 times in this paragraph, twice in this one, once in this one, once in this one. It's like once down here. It's like they're overusing the term chiropractic to try to rank for it. That's a black hat SEO strategy. You don't necessarily need to know a whole bunch about that, but if you do your research, you'll be able to find basically what you need to look for when determining how well a website is set up for ranking. 2 keywords in the headers, blah blah blah. 1 out of 5 for readability. The website's not very easy to read. 1 out of 5 visually. 1 out of 5 no testimonials on the homepage. 2 out of 5 because he does have a mobile version of the site, even though his main site isn't mobile responsive. Company images, 2 out of 5 because he does have a company image in the header. 0 out of 5 because no services are listed on the home page. Contact, 4 out of 5 because he has his contact embedded here, 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 and here. That's good. That's a lot of call to action. So he's basically getting people to, hey, call our phone number. Advertising, I had no ads rendered to me. I was a visitor to their website and there should have been ads rendered to me. No ads rendered as a visitor to his Facebook page. No ads on YouTube, not necessary yet. And He's advertising on TV and radio, which are untargeted. You can't be retargeted. No audience is captured. No mobile audience. Down here, I've listed the color codes for, what the different colors mean. Bad red, okay yellow, good green, optional, standard, or case by case. Gray, this dark color, not recommended. Little purple, recommended. Blue, highly recommended. So Facebook, highly recommended. YouTube and Google, recommended. TV and radio, optional, standard, and case by case. New logo concept, free, fully custom vector designed by myself. And you don't have to list all of this information, but we show them what their logo looks like. I let them know the logo is included in the email as a PNG, Adobe Illustrator, and PSD for $500 value. I have my contact information. Definitely have your contact information, which should also be in your email, my website, my email, my phone number, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, and Facebook Messenger. So I'd love to meet with you and share with you resources, blah, blah, blah. This is my copy because this is generally what I would say to people. I'd love to meet with you and share with you any resources I have for improving these areas of your digital marketing. If you already have someone managing your digital real estate or have someone in mind, I'm happy to mentor and guide them successfully to build a solid digital foundation for your company. I do that already. I'm just going to send them links to my YouTube and Facebook videos, right? I'm not asking you to hire me, but I would love to earn your business. So in case you weren't planning on it anyway, here's something that may be beneficial to you or someone you hire in the future to manage your social profiles. A link out to my video, Facebook is not a social network, to show him why Facebook is important. 20 minutes, Facebook ads, show him how to target and split test with ads. 1 hour video. By the way, never click this eye-catching button, boost posts. It's like throwing $100 in a paper shredder. So that's very valuable information to someone who obviously doesn't know how to use Facebook. If you want to read the copy from this document, go ahead and comment on that post on my Facebook page to let me know that you want access to this. I'm going to send you all of this and more via my Dropbox URL where I've uploaded this document. You can take the document, manipulate it, do whatever you need to do. If you're looking to land some local clients, hopefully this can be of value to you. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the way I go about contacting these businesses. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, criticism. I don't care. Comment on the video and let me know what you think. And if you found this helpful, share this out with a friend. Actually, as a matter of fact, tag them in that post on my Facebook where I ask you if you want access to this document or these documents. And that'll help kind of give more people the opportunity to do something to make money. Okay. And that's going to help us kind of grow, our businesses, our net worth, and the value of wherever we live locally. Okay. So you want to make the transition from making $100 to making $500 a month, from $500 to making $1,000 a month, from 1,000 to making 3, from 3 to 6, 6 to 12, and then keep growing. Right now, we're in the growth stage. Some of you are just starting. So make sure you click the link in this video description to subscribe to my YouTube to get some more tangible videos, how-tos on everything from WordPress, search engine optimization, etc. Now, a lot of the things that I mentioned in this video for evaluating other people's local businesses, if you need help learning how to do things like search engine optimization, setting up a website, etc., it's actually on my YouTube video for free. Most of the videos are about 30 minutes long, and right now I have over 30 videos touching on marketing, branding, graphic design, website development, setting up WordPress, registering a domain name with an SSL certificate, the whole 9. I don't leave out a single thing. Extra videos where I go more into depth on some other things that are more higher ticket for landing bigger clients and doing more sophisticated services will be exclusive to Memphis Entrepreneur Club members. Right now we're updating the website, so no one has access to it until we get some things back online. But At a minimum, you'll spend $50 a month to get access to all of those resources. But for those of you who don't have the funds to be able to afford a membership with Memphis Entrepreneur Club, go to our YouTube channel. A lot of stuff is there for free. If you're the kind of person that takes action, this will be very beneficial to you. And I hope that this can change not only the way you look at things like Facebook or doing business or networking or making friends, but the way that you look at yourself and what you're capable of. Okay, so really, if you want to do anything, it's possible. The resources are there, and I know that the internet is so saturated with so much information that it's hard for you to figure out what resource to trust, where to look, okay, and what actually works, because there's so many opportunities. But my Facebook or my YouTube and my Facebook will give you a tangible step-by-step how-to for some of the things that people are struggling with. Okay, so if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see playlists. If you go to my YouTube page, go to playlist, and you'll see about 5 playlists where I upload different videos according to those playlists. And if you go through the playlist, they'll be 1 through 30 numbered and organized in a way to help you efficiently, be really productive and grow your digital presence and influence.